Hey everybody, Joys of Sorrow. Uh, yeah, what a day. Flux finished the stream trying to explain myself. It was just nothing but a virtue signaling joke. Um, okay, I told you guys I would release the texts that I got from him. So I just needed to do a little editing because I'm not going to give you his phone number, obviously. If Flux has given his phone number in the past in the public, I know that, but I'm not going to be responsible for doxing anybody. You know that technically is a crime. So let's see, where do we start? Let's start right here. Okay, so this is the first message I sent to Flux. Yes, it says Flexhead. When you voice command anything, it always autocorrects you. But this is Flux. This is from last night when I saw the video from Tommy. It's me. Hey, what's this I hear about someone trying to steal Tommy's cap, and something about of voting Tommy out of the camp. I don't know, is his response. Tommy released a video a little while ago saying he got a message from Dusty that some people are trying to steal it, or to vote off his camp. He says, I watched it. I moved camps again. I'm further away. And then I asked him, can you put an ear out? I don't know Tommy, but well, someone fucks with him, and all that. All right, let's go to the next one. So then the next one would be this here. Okay, so yeah, can you visit for me? It might be just, and like I said earlier, I honestly thought it might have actually just been like a troll, just finding a real good way to fuck with him, but the Dusty thing was weird, so I asked him about that. This is me at the bottom right there when basically my first stream earlier this morning, he started explaining what was going on, and then I started getting upset because if you look at this fucking text, guys, I asked him what was going on, and he blatantly lied to me. Okay, he blatantly lied to me. Didn't give a fuck about doing so or not. Yeah, I don't live out there, but why do you need to lie about it? That sounds very conniving and scheming, doesn't it? Alright, and then, yeah, the bottom one is explain yourself. From this morning. He says, I'm driving, call you soon. He called me about an hour, maybe a little longer ago, to start talking about it, and basically he was saying the same thing from the beginning of the chat that he was saying to me. And when he started going off about the whole solidarity and all that, and I told him straight out, you can't, you're trying to force solidarity on people, and this thing about owning. He started going off about this whole, I don't believe in paying rent or landlords or anything or like that, which is a bunch of fucking hypocritical bullshit. You're out there, you said it yourself, you are out there because you want to own your own land. You want to be a landlord. You fucking idiot. Do you not listen to yourself contradict yourself, Flux? But anyways, so that's what pretty much started my anger towards Flux. Is just, there's nothing straightforward about it. He just blatantly just fucking acted like a fool and like nothing was going on. Then the last streams of text were these right here for a little while ago, where I pretty much told him, hey man, I'm going to respect Tommy's wishes, but fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you, fuck your associates, fuck Louise. And I'm not going to support shit for you. I'll still support Tommy. I don't have no reason to fucking support fucking scummy people like that. And, his answer to fucking everything is, cool, please do, I'm not perfect. And I think, no one is fucking perfect. Perfection has nothing to do with this, alright? No one is perfect. No one is fucking perfect. Perfection is something that has to be self-pursued, okay? It is not something that could be achieved throughout a group of people. Why? Because in order for perfection to be done in a group of people, that would mean that everyone in that group has to be fucking perfect. And guess what? There is no such thing as the perfect person. So that group cannot fucking exist. Hey, Mary. So, like I told him, no one is. But those who excuse their flaws because of others show their intent to fix their own show they never intended to fix their own flaws to begin with. And this is kind of goes off to what I was saying a little while ago in regards to people with meth addiction. You know, I, as a former meth addict, I'm telling you guys, as a former meth addict, and it's fucked to say this, but there are very few people who can be saved through meth addiction. That is the unfortunate reality. There are very few people who can be saved from meth addiction. Because a lot of people cannot. And eventually, like the behavior that Flux is presenting, people choose not to. And what do they do instead? They blame it on something else. They blame it externally on something that probably has nothing to do with them or something next to them. And then they find a way to justify it. And this is pretty much what Flux did with his stream just now. He was finding a way to justify what he's doing. Ruba, what are you talking about? Flux has admitted that he was a meth head. So that's already dismissed there. Flux has already made videos where he has admitted that he's done drugs, and he's admitted that he's been left. Or heroin, I'm sorry. Okay. Excuse me. Heroin, meth, I put them in the same boat as aggressive hard drugs. Okay, so heroin addict. I take it back. Heroin addict. It is still fiendish behavior. And honestly, heroin addict makes this a lot worse. I understand that, Ruba, but that's not an excuse for him to justify what they're doing. It is not. It is like let me try to tell you guys what I was trying to say to Flux before he hung up on me. Okay, it was pretty much what he told me the first minute of that video everybody else saw. You know, I was trying to tell him, as I said on the chat, you cannot force solidarity on people. All right, that is not something you can do. And if it is true that Tommy fucked him over, and that supposedly Tommy's been selling stuff off that doesn't belong with it, which, by the way, if Tommy did that, shame on Tommy. But doesn't give you the right to just go and take over the fucking person's cab, especially in this mob mentality. This is mob mentality. You told me it's still too raw for him to talk about it, but yet it's not raw enough for him to group up with people and attempt a hostile takeover. Do you see why his behavior should not be acceptable? Ruba, his behavior is not only fiendish, it is selfish, it is in its own way malicious as well. And you know what? I kind of, I don't want to... Tommy's in such a bad situation right now, but this is, again, it goes back to the whole being kind is a sin. That's why when I was over there, I tried to tell Tommy, you're a good guy and everything, but the problem with being a good guy is that a lot of people are going to take advantage of you, or vice versa. And the best thing to do is just be careful who you let in your camp. Now, of course, it's not my camp. I had no right to tell Tommy what to do with his camp, but he was nice enough to listen. Ruba, then why would he have an involvement in this? Well, Deborah, that goes without saying. This is Tommy's, and there's problems. But as an outsider, looking in, I'm recognizing that what Flux and Luis and his associates are doing is pretty much ganging up on Tommy and his camp to steal it. Because look, he keeps quoting the Slab City rule. If a camp has been abandoned more than 30 days or whatever the fuck, that camp is considered abandoned and up for grabs. Why is it that no one seems to be mentioning that Dusty is still there, or ignoring the fact that Dusty is a member of the Treehouse camp? Why is that being thrown out the window? Do you see where I am starting to have problems with this? You have your own rules. You have your own rules, and yet you have a support. Yeah, no, well, I need to. Deborah, again, I do think there's much more to this. If the shit that they're saying about Tommy is true in regards to the donations that he took in and he was supposed to distribute it out to people, but he didn't and all that, okay, you know what? I'm not going to defend Tommy on that. But, the thing is, it goes back to what Gandhi says. Is all these virtue signaling pseudo-spiritual idiots really don't remember what Gandhi says. And one of them is an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So, the only thing I see is, okay, Tommy fucked me over. I'm going to fuck him over even more. Would not the civil approach be, all right, you know what? I'm going to take my bus, move further down, make my own camp, and have fucking nothing to do with the guy. Start my own YouTube channel. Have my own people come here. We will slowly build this up. Everyone else did it. Why can't Flux do it? Why can't Flux do it without trying to choke people with solidarity, or, the bullshit of solidarity down people's throats? And it goes back to your dang fucking hypocrites. And, okay, someone asked about Dusty, assuming Dusty is a member of the Treehouse. When I showed up there, Dusty was already there. Okay? Dusty had already been staying for a while. So he is a member of that group. So if we go by their own rules, that camp was never abandoned. That's what it comes down to it. If you want to talk about rules, by Slab City's own rules, that camp was never abandoned. Did most of the camp members leave? Yes. Did someone from the camp stay? Yes. Is someone from the camp still there? Yes. So, where do these people come off and saying that we're voting you out because we don't want you there, and then saying, will Slab City has these rules of 30 days or more gone, we take it over? Total fucking hypocrites. Okay? Oh. Let me see. Oh. But yeah, I just wanted to pretty much show this to you guys. Show you guys I was talking to him. I didn't just get upset just because I found out, I was trying together. I put together this morning that I was being deceived while putting things together. I don't like being deceived, okay? And I understand that I'm not entitled to information. You could have just said nothing. That's all you have to do. Say absolutely nothing. Yeah, bro. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all that could be said on the subject. Also, a little worried about Cause. Has anybody heard from Cause today? I don't have a... They're trying to make their own rules in a place that's supposed to be rules outside from the normal rules, but they're not even following the rules that are established in the place that they're supposed to be being. Get it? And then Flux earlier tried to use that as an excuse in his video to justify the hostile takeover of Shepherd's Treehouse. That is another thing too. I know that Cause also had Louise on his channel, and he spoke about the guy being very smart and everything, a very intellectual, program savvy and whatnot. And apparently the guy is choosing to be out there. Okay, why is he choosing to be out there? Why would somebody with all that intelligence and that potential to put it somewhere to be making money be living there? Let's say this was his dream, and you know what? Fine, I'm not gonna dog him for this being his dream. However, if I had that fucking kind of intelligence and tech savvy, you know, and I wanted to move to this fucking slab, especially, I believe he's single. If I remember right, he's single. He's got no attachments or anything. Why couldn't he go work for a little while, gather some fucking money, move in there, and, you know, get shit together to start things like a solar setup and all that? And so already there, that move doesn't make that much sense to me. And everybody has intentions. So I really wonder what Luis's intention. Then why would he bring it up? That's my question. You see, why fear is very, very skittish. I get it. I get it. He's a recovering drug addict, but at the same time, that's is also part of you know, of someone with malicious intent or ill intent. Oh. All right, let's see. Let's go back to YouTube. All right, I missed that last. Hey guys, Luis and Tori are a couple. I don't know who to. Okay, so he's not alone out there. Okay. Okay. Wait. So it's capitalist of me to think about prepping yourself a little bit before going out there? How is that capitalist of me? That's compared. Especially considering the harsh environment here that Luis chose to be there. What's this? There's. Drama on slab. YouTube on drama in the slab burbs at their local middle school. You can't make this shit up. No, you can't make this shit up. No, you got a point, Deborah. And you know, I understand that. I understand that point out here isn't probably in the Cadell. And Tommy has pretty much already made up his mind on the subject. I have already offered Tommy, though, that if he wants to stay in the, you know, go deeper into the slabs and build inside the slabs, I'm willing to help him out as best as I can. You know, unfortunately right now, financially, I might be able to do a little bit here and there if this job pulls through. But my work's been slow lately as well. But if it comes to like building and stuff like that, you know, I can do labor. I can go down there and help him put together shit and whatnot. You know. But now I got to figure out what to do with this 55-gallon drum that I'm now stuck with. Well, you know, I've been thinking about yes, Spirit of Salt. It's right. I agree with that logic. Well, no, you know what? Actually, I have to backtrack a little bit, Spirit of Salt, because here's the thing. At least the vultures Well, fucking wait till it's dead. Or at least till it can only wiggle a finger. You know, this is like standing on top of a dead body after a school shooting, saying we need more, we need to ban guns, and the bodies haven't even fucking been picked up and and taken to the hospital yet. But Deborah, here's the thing though, that becomes questionable now. Like I said earlier, if one of the slab's rules is that if you abandon the camp for 30 days, the camp is up for grabs. Yet it's obvious that this camp was never abandoned because Dusty, as a member of the Shepherd's Treehouse camp, has been there the whole time. Then are they really slabbers? Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, I'm not a slabber. I can't make this decision. Honestly, that would be a question that I'd like to bring up to Cause. If you live in the canal, but you want to be part of the slabs, yet you're not willing to follow the rules of the slabs, are you a slabber? Because I would think at that point, no. And especially if they're being hypocrites about the rules, then no, then they can't be part of. In my opinion, they shouldn't be part of the slabs at that point. But I don't live there, okay? So, again, Deborah is right in the sense that what we opinionate and say do is not going to really change much of what's go down there, but I'm still going to have an opinion about it. Just as if this is how they're going to conduct themselves. I made videos on Hoodoo Bitch. I can make videos on Flux. I don't really see any reason for Cause to get involved. I mean, I know Cause knows Lewis. It is kind of weird that Cause hasn't made a video all day today. But I'm not gonna. That's not a conspiracy that's warranted at all. So I don't know. I'd like to hear Cause's opinion on all this at least. Yeah, this issue, honestly, if this issue would have been handled with much more diplomacy, I wouldn't be making all these videos today. I mean, I would have had maybe something to say about it eventually, but I wouldn't been making videos like this all day. But Ruba, Dusty is there. Ruba, as far as we know, Dusty has still been there since Sunday. So, and he's a member of the Treehouse group. So again, by the rules of the slabs, if they are trying to be part of the slabs, no, that camp was never abandoned. And therefore, by the slabs rules, is still their camp. Now, if there are any leeways or bylaws that I don't know about in regards to this, again, Cause would probably be a better one to know about the rules and how they work out. Yeah, I honestly would like to talk to Dusty. I don't know if Dusty has his own YouTube channel though. Actually, I don't. Well, I'm assuming he has a way to get a hold of Tommy if he called Tommy yesterday to tell him about that. So, but yeah, I really would like to talk to Dusty. And then Dusty will have the better details. But he's I don't think Dusty has any. Dusty had moved to Goonies during my time there because he was mad at Sheps. Okay. But I don't think that lasted long, right, Deborah? I know there was a little issue, but I think they squashed it after a little bit. Slab City Wolfpack replied to my comment asking about Shepherds. I'm not, because I'm not Deborah. Think about it. When I was there, when I met Deborah there, who was all at the camp? Tommy, Selena, Bubba, RLF, Dusty, Smiley, Aoka, and I think somebody else. I'm not 100%. I think, but so out of anybody else who was left there, Dusty seems to be like the other person that probably can handle himself in the situation. So I mean, it would make reason to leave him in charge. Especially if whatever little argument they might have had was just something minuscule. Which again, it's the desert, guys. It's hot as fuck, and little arguments and verbal bouts. Who cares? That shit's gonna happen. Things where they get physical or things are gonna get stolen. That's a whole different ballpark. Under the bus, maybe they threw Tommy under the bus too. As I said, Dusty threw Mike under the bus. Maybe they threw. When did Dusty throw Mike under the bus? Or do you mean like flipping sides with the whole accusation? Or is that something else? Yeah, no, I agree. Dusty's a good guy. As again, if out of the three people that would be left in the camp, from those 4 being gone, if it was up to me, I would have put Dusty in charge. That would be the common sense thing for me. Something else. Do you have a video link or something? Maybe our. Message retracted. Huh. Okay, well, I can't see that the message was retracted because I'm on YouTube gaming. Ruba has me blocked, so I can't see her talking shit. Okay. No, I've been talking to Ruba. Ruba's been pretty calm, a little defensive on Flux side, but she was trying to be fair. Wanted me to see both sides, but again, I had already talked to Flux about that, and I know not all the story, but I know that's what was going on. As far as Tommy, this talk about Tommy might have been selling stuff or not. Oh, about the. Wait, wait, what does Dusty have to do with the mics? The. Are you saying that Dusty's the one that ratted him out, or is this about him like just doing a 180 on him? So Dusty threw Mike under the bus too. She had now retracted that comment. Okay, I didn't see her retract the comment. Again, I'm on YouTube gaming, so I can't see retractions. I can see them as they're posted, but they don't retract, but they disappear after a little while. It's the only way I can get a screen share anything on the phone. Okay, then. All right, well, either way, I still think Dusty's a good guy, and again, if it was up to me, Dusty would be the tactical choice, in my opinion, sizing him up by his character, strengths, weaknesses, things like that. Aoka's a good person, but seems like a very passive person. Seems like the non-violent type. So probably not somebody you'd want to bear the burden of leadership in that sort of situation. Okay, I'm not gonna get into this. Whatever you girls got between yourselves, you girls deal it with yourselves. I learned my lesson as a teenager not to get in a cat fight, so I'm not gonna step into that. Hold on, I didn't catch that last one. Sounds to me like you have been a part of the Lewis and other community things they've got going on, and if you're not or they don't like you, you're voted out. Which again is a strange thing. You're voting out squatters. You know, you're voting out squatters. How do you vote out a squatter? Now, I've been homeless. Fortunately for me, I was homeless in an SUV with my ex. So the SUV was well enough for us to sleep in. We kept our stuff in storage, but we did stay in areas where there were other homeless people. Now, in a group setting where a camp votes an individual out, that's a logical sense, especially with one of the problems that we have here in northern Los Angeles, in the San Fernando Valley, Valencia area, Castaic area. We have a homeless issue as far as crime goes, but it's not so much the local homeless or the resident homeless people. It turns out that a lot of this crime is coming from what you'd call, I guess, the transient homeless, the hobos, the people who are just passing by. And it's turned out that there are now, rather than it be one or two people who say, hey, let's go do a bunch of crazy shit, we're going to leave town anyway. There's now groups of people who are doing this. And crime has gone up because of this. Mostly things like burglaries, break-ins, and stuff like that, vandalism. Say we are stronger together than divided. I'm sure they will work this out. Deborah, I really do hope they will work this out. And Flux needs to get out of this this little virtue signaling eco trip it has, because he's not realizing how much this can come back and bite him in the ass. Wouldn't it be the same as prison rules and nothing personal? What do you mean, Joan? Bye, Deborah. Oh, hey, Mary. I didn't see you there. And, I mean, I'm going to watch the video whenever Luis comes out with the video. With the facts. I mean, I'd really, really like to see these supposed facts. I can't honestly see any fact other than, let me put it to you this way, the only way you can justify taking somebody's camp like that is you got to prove to me that you were the one, that camp itself was taken over from you. That's the only way you can justify taking over that camp. Otherwise, I don't see it. And obviously, if Slab City rules apply, they're even breaking supposedly Slab City's rules. Cisco, I have started thinking about that. That Flux may be the instigator, because it does make some sense. He has a lot to gain from having both Mike gone and Tommy gone. These are people that have seen him at his worst behavior. With them gone, there's no one really left around to really see him in his worst behavior, that at least it's seen him bad enough to the point where they're saying, hey, you need to get out of my camp. But at the same time, it seems more like a collective issue. Okay, Joan. But still, here's the thing, though. Prison rules are not as loose as you think. Have you ever heard of the lineup? for those of people who don't know, the lineup is, let's say if you want to get into a fight with somebody, you're actually in prison, not allowed to gang up on a person if it's a fight between two individuals, unless that person is like marked for assault or death, but that has to do more with a order from a gang or an order from a higher up. That wouldn't be like a rivalry between one member from one gang and one from another. So the rule in prison, as far as I understand it, is you have to line up to fight. So if multiple people want to fight you, you have to take your turn. And from what I've been told from ex-cons is those people who break that rule will get consequences from other groups in the prison. Now, I've never been to prison, so I wouldn't know. But I've known people in my life who've been to prison, one of them several times. So I rely on his information. I rely on his information for that, and from the other information I've gathered from others, it seems accurate. So, I mean, it's not so much prison rules, really. We don't know, Myra. We don't know. Tommy seems to be kind of giving up, which is another thing that's kind of concerning me, with everything going on like this, plus his own personal stresses and whatnot. He's even questioning his own religion. I'm worried the man's falling apart, and rapidly. And this thing that Flux and Luis are doing, obviously, there's not helping at all. It's like kicking somebody in the balls, after they just took a bat to the head. It's almost overkill. It's almost overkill. So, but yeah, I mean, the guy's losing his faith. The guy looks like he seems like he might crack. But he doesn't seem like he wants to put too much of a fight for the camp. All he is asking is to basically grab his stuff, and supposedly they're going to let him. He asked in his earlier stream not to nobody go out there on his behalf to do any maliciousness, and I have to honor that. Out of respect for the man, I have to honor that. However, this doesn't stop. I want to say this. This is not going to stop me from going to the slabs. I will eventually go back to the slabs. Obviously, probably not in November now because of what's going on with Tommy. So the date's going to be really open in the air. I think I might take this chance that the next time I go out there, I might go visit Alien or visit Cause. And just visit. Stay? No. The way that these camps, these groups of people are now conducting themselves, I'm very weary of staying at any one person's camp. I have to be honest. Kaz has invited me out there. Sam has invited me to stay at the hostel when he was there. And that's another thing too. Sam's gonna be out of the hostel. I think he's already out on the hostel. But I'm not trying to talk shit about Sam or Cause or anything like that. But these are your neighbors. I'm not trying to say that your character is defined by the people you live around, but I'm going to be careful from now on. From now on, anytime that I go out there, I'll have to just find a spot on my own. That really doesn't concern me. I can protect myself. I have ways of protecting myself. I always have a way of protecting myself at all times, as you should all always have a way to protect yourselves at all times. Remember that, guys. Always. Doesn't matter if you're comfortable at home watching TV. Always have some kind of protection on you. Always. You never know what could happen. But, like I said, I'm going to be careful from now on. Anytime that I go out there, I'll have to just find a spot on my own. I can protect myself. I always have a way of protecting myself at all times, as you should all always have a way to protect yourselves at all times. Remember that, guys. Always. Doesn't matter if you're comfortable at home watching TV. Always have some kind of protection on you. Always. You never know what could happen. Um, I'll go visit Kaz. I will go visit Kaz. I'd like to visit Alien. I have no problem doing that. But staying, again, it's just if watching people behave like that, kind of cannibalizing. It's kind of like watching cannibals eat themselves. You know, like this is how disturbing this is. There is a video out on YouTube. You guys can look it up. You know what? I'll look it up. I hope they don't fucking hit me with a community guideline strike for this. But the video, cannibal chimpanzees or cannibal monkeys. Cannibal monkeys eating members, something like that.
Cannibal chimps killed and ate their former leader, probably over sex. One expert described the chimps turned on their own path into an epicene of those cannibal chimps and ate them over sex. Fidalgo, a leader of more than 30 western chimpanzees in southeastern Senegal, was killed in 2018 by a group of his fellow chimps in a grisly death. It was only the 9th recorded case of a chimpanzee community killing one of its own. Now a new study for the International Journal of Primatology.
Okay, this isn't the video, but they are talking about it. You know what? It might be this BBC video right here. Again, I hope I don't get a copyright strike or anything. Okay, I think this is the one.
These calls announced the start of a raid into land controlled by their neighbors.
No, this ain't it.
They leave their cause.
Wait. No, this ain't it either. Hey, Charles. Yeah, I know how they eat the new male will eat the babies. Yeah, you're right, Spirit. The BBC will strike. They're fucking Brits, you know. I don't mean that. I mean, there's some British people that I adore and respect, but yeah, you guys have some fucked laws over there. So shit, I can't find it. Fuck. But basically, in the video, the chimps were running out of food, and they finally, I guess, decided to eat one of the older chimps. And they basically beat the shit out of it, wait till it to die, and then they start eating it. And this is what it all looks like to me. You know, and again, it's all hypocritical because the Flux has the audacity to talk about solidarity and unity, and all you're really doing is unifying to take from somebody else. And Cisco, I think, mentions things about the rules of nature. Unfortunately, the rules of nature don't apply in this situation. How do they not apply? Well, because technically they aren't in nature themselves. The middle of the desert, yes, they are, but they're only 20 minutes away from an island. So they don't. There's no excuse There is no excuse for them to say that there is no place they can go get food or water. They just need the provisions and the finances to go do it. At this point, they either don't want to, or they don't have enough people to donate money to them to do so. Okay, So, and that's another thing with the donations thing, that I think that would also disqualify this situation as a rule of nature, rules of nature as well. Nature is not one to give donations. At least that's my opinion. Joan, Joan, you're right. I might be. Because there's still quite a bit that we don't know. But it's pretty fucked up. It's just all pretty fucked up. What more can I say? What more can I say? Alright, well, I didn't really get to do much today. I've had this damn huge fucking, knife in my car all fucking morning and afternoon, just sitting here next to my dash. I was surprised. I actually had a LAPD and an SUV roll by next to me, and they just saw it right there. And I thought, oh man, I might get in trouble. And the guy just smiled and, and just nodded his head and just drove off. And I guess he liked it. Oh no, don't worry, Joan. Look, again, the situation is not what made me nuts. It's being lied to. I don't like being lied to. That's why I got heated into it. I feel bad for what's going on with Tommy, and I feel bad for the situation. And I understand. I don't live there, so what the fuck really can I do other than help the guy take his shit out or rebuild, if I'm available. But Flux lied to me. Flux lied to me. Rather than say, you know what, dude, I just rather not talk about it, or it's not your business. At least with that, I could have respected that. But I can't respect somebody lying to me. And then hanging up on me like he's a 13-year-old teenage child on the phone is not another thing I'm going to respect from a grown man. From a grown man. Flux, I believe, I don't remember if Flux is a few years younger or a few years older than me. But regardless, I'm 32 years old. You're going to hang up on a grown 32-year-old man like you're a 13-year-old teenage girl on a PMS tantrum. Because I'm making sense and pointing out that what you're doing is wrong. The way you're going about it is wrong. And before I can even say, you know what, dude, you can be better than this, you hang up on me. That's where this heat comes from. Myra, and he is a good man. Okay? And this is coming from me. I am an atheist. I don't believe in God. All right? I abandoned Christianity or Catholicism because I was a Catholic in my childhood before I even became a teenager. I have a really religious aunt that religiously took me to church with her because she was my babysitter as a child. And as a child, right away, I saw, that it's not all that they'd said to be. Here's the thing, Nick. Junkie doesn't always equal pathetic. Junkie doesn't always equal idiot. Junkie doesn't always equal loser. Now, in rare circumstances, I've met some really interesting, off, and frankly amazing junkies. Like when I started doing meth, the guys that I did meth with were not these scrawny, paley, bone-figured people. It was a Filipino guy who can literally eat 2 La Gigante pizzas. For those of you who don't know, La Gigante pizza was a pizza from a place called La Pizza Loca here in LA. It was a 3 feet long by 6 foot long by 3 feet wide pepperoni or cheese pizza. This tweaker can finish both of those and still be hungry. And the guy never gained a fucking pound. I couldn't, even worse, tweakers normally don't sleep. This guy can sleep 22 to 30 hours, 30 hours. Why? How do I know this? Because the guy spent nights at my place. I spent nights at his place. We spent nights at all other people's places, and sometimes even in the street. I was fucking amazed how this dude, who would smoke so much meth, can out-eat me and outsleep me. It was flabberfucking-gastingly amazing. Guy couldn't hold down a job, but he did it. And then the other one was a guy we called Bear. Big white guy. Now, he was fat. And when he started tweaking, he didn't lose that weight. He stopped eating quite a bit. You know what I mean? He would eat still. But he ended up gaining more weight. We could, you know, me and the Filipino guy we couldn't make heads or fucking tails of it. We're like, how the fuck can you get fatter from just smoking tweak? Oh no, Nick, the Filipino guy, we could just be fitted. This guy will sleep smoking meth. This is what amazed me. Meth is a stimulant drug. When I started using meth, I could go without sleep for 3 to 4 days on the average. My longest was 11. But by the third day, I started seeing what meth addicts call, I don't know if anybody still calls it this, but shadow people. Basically, it's an optic illusion because you're so damn tired. Your eye is basically fucking with you to the point where any shadows that you see or it start to move around, or it even creates shadows on its own because of how tired you are. Back there. And now malls can lead to problems. A mall can always become a double agent or a triple agent. Especially out there. If the majority, most people out there are just looking for a selfish gain, that mall can be turned around on him really quick. But yeah, I that's why I can't say that all drug users are pathetic, because not many. I want to point this out. Not many, and they are not the majority at all. But there are a pinchful of drug users, of heavy drug users that I have met, who have defied pretty much every statistical thing that drug is supposed to do to an individual. And some of these people can actually hold down jobs. And that's the thing. If you do drugs and you can hold down a job and you don't bring your personal gripe upon anybody else, no one can hate you for that. It's only when you start causing problems for other people that people can gripe. Okay? I don't think it's healthy for anybody to be doing meth or anything like that as a form of meth user. But I can't tell anybody what the fuck they can and can't do, can I? Well, it's not my right. At least with this situation. Yeah, Cindy, Tommy has friends there. I mean, if it's an instantaneous thing, he can call people to pick up. Need be so, if I need to, I'd have to make serious arrangements. I can try to work something out to get over there. It would be hard for me because I still have work to do on my car before I can head back over there. Which I'm thinking, actually, I don't know what's going to happen. Because if you guys remember, Tommy's supposed to do that baptism in November. So I don't know what's going to happen now with the baptism if he's not going to be there. So I'll have to decide on different days. Hey guys, I just realized my phone is at 6%. So this app might just kick me out soon. So I'm just going to end it here. Guys, thanks for watching. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. You guys have a great day, okay? Oh, down to 5%. Don't die.